Hello everyone for another tutorial. In this tutorial, we are gonna tackle an important way of using RDRs, Dribble Down rules, in a maintainable, future safe manner, which is basically using the test driven development as a core part of developing rules in as part of your repository or as part of your project. And if you are collaborating with many people, then this becomes a really crucial part. So we have seen in the previous tutorials that we are able to use RDRs to query information about objects using either the normal way where you would define your RDR and then create a case query, or using RDR decorators and decorating methods of the object that you are querying. In this example, we will follow similar to the first example where we don't use the decorator, we are just using the normal way of defining the RDR and then defining the query. But we will do that using inside a test file. So we have here our test relational example.py, which is our test file, and we will create a factory method for our case, so that's important. So our case that we are gonna query should be in a factory method like this that we can call. And our RDR, since it will be used most likely in more than just one test case, it will be used in multiple tests. It's good if you are using PyTests to make a fixture of creating this RDR here. And then for every attribute of, for example, robot, you are querying, you create basically a new test method like this. And you can even have multiple test methods for the same attribute if you are having different cases and you want to do that in different test cases, so that's also possible. So we create this test case, which takes the robot RDR, the RDR that we want to fit, and it calls the factory method for creating our case. And what's important is here, when creating the case query, we give it these two extra inputs, which are the scenario. The scenario is the test method that basically resulted in the rules being fit to this case. And the case factory is basically the factory method that recreates the case that basically was queried at that part of the test, right? So this ensures maintainability over time, over the lifetime of your project, because then when rules change, when rules tree gets bigger and bigger, you can always verify your rules are running correctly against the cases that it was created for. And when there's at some point people collaborating and creating rules for the same kind of attribute, and you want to merge these rules into the main branch of the repository, then you can verify, or you can merge them in a smart way by checking that it needs to pass all the tests, and every rule that gets added would have a test. And if all the tests for all the rules from all the people are running correctly, then that's basically what we need to have in the end, right? So that will allow for such a situation. And then we call simply fit case, and we give it this extra argument, update existing rules equal false, because when running tests, we don't want it to always prompt us about an answer, right? So this will only prompt at the first time when there is no rule to answer this case. And then when the rule gets added, it will never ask again, will never prompt again, so the test will pass normally without prompting or waiting for an answer from the user. So that's also important part. And then the rest is the same as before. We call the classify just to verify that the result is what we expect. And you can call this, so I also enabled the GUI here. And you can call this basically from the terminal by calling pytest -s and then the name of the file, or you can also specify specific test cases using pytest. So I will just here run the file like that, and you see here it prompts me as usual, and you can write the rule by pressing it as usual, and similar to the previous example. So I really recommend using this way for big projects and for projects that lasts for a while, that have collaborations between multiple people, because this will ensure that you don't run into problems in the future. And that's it. Thank you very much, and see you in the next one.